Good morning, Central India, and welcome to Porch Time, live at JTH Construction Studio. We have a very, very, very special show this morning. Coffee with Kevin, Saturday edition, and we've got guests in house, which Ryan Fields is already on here this morning. We got people already coming in. So, Kathy, good morning. Real quick, you're looking live at JTH Construction Studio. Get a hold of Joe for all your construction needs, 765-913-8599. American Basement Solutions, Mr. Larry Ralph Sr., 1-877-409-2837. Fathom Real Estate with Teresa Messmer, 765-341-8911. Wellspring, Bob Goodrum's Group, 765-342-6661. I see people posted like 3 or 4 times this week, hey, I've got clothes I want to drop off. I'm doing my spring cleaning. The 3 locations I give you, the Wellspring, Red Barn, and Churches and Mission. They're all in proximity of each other, about 4 blocks right there on the northwest side of town, and Red Barn's on the downtown. Stids Comfort System, 765-346-0195. Get a hold of Caleb. Logan's Cosmos, 765-318-3388. Wayman's Furniture, Appliance, and Mattress, 765-342-4339. Tell Mark we said hello. They've only been in business for about 50 years in town and survived all the big box stores and keep going. The Yard Barber with Andrew Payton, 765-318-4108. Do not forget about Tommy Wall's Electric Consulting Live Wire, 765-792-4012. And last but certainly not least, Hometown Nutrition, Martinsville. Stop in there. I believe they open at 8 on Saturdays. Tell Savannah said hello. She's going to stop in here early on Monday is a rumor. But getting her to do that is going to be tough. But we could have some hometown shakes in here early Monday morning. So now to the issue at hand. We've got smiling faces. And all right, we have Mike Masterson, owner of the Martinsville and Columbus Culvers, and his general manager, Mrs. Amber Arthur.
Hey.
Good morning, Mike. Good morning, Amber. How we doing, folks?
Morning. Doing great today.
Yeah,
It is. I'm normally do this by myself. I've had another individual stop in, Dan Downing, police officer here in town, or deputy. I'm sorry, captain on the sheriff's department. He's gonna hit me when he sees me.
Well, they were just some recent promotions. So maybe that
right. So, but now I have on a Saturday edition. I have the owner of the newest yummy spot in town. Mike, how you doing, sir?
Well, we're doing great. Great.
First, I want to say thank you for coming on the show, both of you. I think it's very cool that we get to introduce you to the community, and you're bringing a product that a little different than it. It's not just a burger joint. It's not fast food, as we were talking off air. But first, I want to introduce folks. Where are you from, and what got you involved in the Culvers? Because it's kind of fascinating to me how you went about that, sir.
Well, I live in Fishers. And basically I've been with Culver's a little over 3 years now. I've been in the restaurant business for 40 years. I actually got in right after I got out of the Marine Corps.
Oh my.
So I am a former Marine. And it was one of those kind of, once you get in this business, you just learn to either love it or hate it, type of thing. I think it takes a special individual to do this, and do it right. And I think Amber, will agree with me from that standpoint, because it's the everyday. It's something different every day. You get to interact with all the people. And I, back in the day, had owned a business of my own, and did very well with it from that standpoint. But with some young kids and stuff, had to kind of go back into the corporate world, but always wanted to do it one more time. And I got to that point in time that I was ready to do it and able to do it. So I got to kind of researching things a little bit. And Craig Culver, the founder of Culver's, if you've never researched him or looked him up, is a great story. How he started out, his family with a supper club up in Wisconsin. Those are very big up there from that standpoint. Right. And he ended up creating the one in Sauk Village, which is still there today. From that standpoint, that was number one. And we have grown to the point to where the store here in Martinsville is number 963 for Culver's.
Isn't that crazy?
We are actually in 26 states. So it was one of those that I thought it looked like a great opportunity. It was one that I could franchise with. So I started to look into that, and here we are today.
So, and you told me off air, third largest Culver state in the
State-wise, yes, behind Wisconsin and Minnesota.
Wow. So we're definitely right there with them. Now you're part of the Meyer Food Group also.
Yes.
And explain that if you would.
So basically, I belong to the Meyer Food Group.
Okay.
Jeff Meyer and Neil Miller.
Okay.
We are the second largest franchisee in all of Culver's.
Hang on. We just got booted, and I don't want to do that. So we're going to do this again. All right. I tried to tell Amber not to sing, and she ignored me, and this is what happens. So, for you, Teresa, good morning. For you normal Coffee with Kevin viewers that pop on here and see that we got booted, you know what happened. Somebody in some third world country with a lot of dirt, a lot of sand, decides to tell us to stop. Good morning, Teresa. Good morning, Brian. All right. I'm sorry, Mr. Masterson and Amber, but that is the joy of social media sometimes when you're live streaming and they tell you, hey, we're just going to do this to you. So anyway, you are part of the Meyer Food Group, we were saying.
Yes. So we are the second largest franchisee in all of Culver's. Martinsville here will be our 32nd store. Jeff Meyer, Neil Miller. We're out of Noblesville.
Okay.
From that standpoint. So we have stores in Indiana, Ohio, and we even have 2 in Georgia. So we stretch throughout the state, probably from, we go as far north as Wabash, Indiana, to down south Madison. We just opened Madison about a month ago.
So you're all the way to the river, pretty much.
Yes. Yes. So, I mean, and we continue to grow. I mean, from that standpoint. So we have to, there are certain stipulations with CFS that, you have to have, you get too far away from the office, you have to have partners.
Right.
So that because Culver's believes in having people that are on hand and inside the stores.
Right.
From that standpoint. So that is how that position got created and how I came to Fruitation today.
They don't close the doors very often, do they?
No.
Yeah. That's how they keep them open. No,
even during COVID, a lot of places closed up or closed their dining rooms or just couldn't figure out how to operate, and we did not.
I like it.
Immediately, most of our stores stayed open, even in the dining room. We immediately figured out ways to do it, but we definitely, kept the drive-thrus open and kept things rolling, and we just created different ways, which helped us grow. That's kind of how the dual drive-thru creation came out that we have right now, and we have tablets that we take outside to help expedite things through the drive-thru, etc. So it will be something a little different as people see, like in the one here now, they're finished. We call them pods. There are 2 little buildings outside underneath our canopy and drive-thru, and they will actually have a live person in it.
I've seen this at Chick-fil-A does this a lot.
Yes.
And I don't know who started that or if they did, but those people who design that should run the government, because
seriously.
I mean, and Avon up there, as busy it is at lunchtime, you could go to Chick-fil-A and you're in and out in no time, and it is insane how they move people like that. And I'm assuming same principles apply. Good morning, Shelley.
Absolutely. And one of the biggest differences, or I will say, one of the things that we pride ourselves in is the fact that if you come to Culver's and go through the drive-thru, you basically know you're going to get pulled forward.
Right.
And the reason we pull forward is we cook everything fresh.
Right.
There are live mics or live speakers in the kitchen, so when an order is actually being placed outside, the kitchen hears it, and that is when we start to cook it from that standpoint. We don't have a bunch of stuff sitting in the window that's already been made. Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Fantastic. So this, and I'm not going to discuss what Amber spilled coffee on her or whatever this morning. I seen it. I love her
It's
too
fine.
much to go
It
there.
happens every day. So for me, I'm just like, oh, another day, another
I'm like
sweatshirt.
warning
It's
folks,
fine.
this is a coffee club, and I'm waiting on my Yahoos, Trent, and Seth and Fuse, but we're loosening up here already. So, a lot of people don't understand. We need a Jimmy John's. We need this. there's an investment. There's a high risk. There's due diligence, and someone has to put the money down and find the location. What attracted Culver's to Martinsville? Proximity, Bloomington and Indy.
The proximity in between and the potential growth process. I will say when we
Culver's and Fisher's Culver's so fast, even though they cook it fresh, I may have an obsession with their food.
Well, that's great to hear, Teresa.
Good morning, Teresa. She is a fan of real estate, Teresa Messer. So
the proximity was a big thing from that standpoint because it is in between the two, but the growth potential, here in Martinsville, and I will say, from the very get-go, from the town council, city council, the mayor's office, everyone that we have dealt with from that standpoint has been extremely helpful and very gracious in working with us and having us come to town. And it is one of those that we are here now, and we think we can help, Martinsville continue to grow and expand as it is. So I can't say enough from that standpoint about how much of a joy it has been to work with everyone and how well we have been received to date.
Kenny's a good man, and I think that some of the things that he's doing for our community, Culver's, for instance, things like that, it's I don't want to say he's not building it, but he's certainly being open arms and receiving. Hey, we want to build there. What make it work? Let's put a 70-foot sign up outside and make it work.
90.
But 98. But
90.
But there's a reason for that. I mean, for those that don't get it, you can see that from the interstate. And guess what? That's business. That's revenue coming to Martinsville, and that's what we want. So, I mean, you get, it's a give and take business. You want businesses to come to town. You know this as well as me, and you got to give and take some. And so, outside looking in, building looks first class. Love the setup. It just looks like an oasis, sitting there. You guys did a good one. It was about a week ago when they turned the lights on at night.
Yeah.
And it was a really dark, cloudy night. And Buddy, and I'm sure there was reasons why it went on that night. Buddy, it stuck out, and it was like, wow, they're doing this well. So
and actually, because I was the one that did that, I was going home that night, and I thought, I want everyone to be able to see, and we did wait for the sign to go up. From that standpoint, but yes, we are proud of what we have.
Yes, sir.
And we are extremely excited about being here in town. And I will say to this point in time, we do have a Facebook page. Mm-hmm. We have a lot of great followers from that standpoint. That's how we kind of got involved with all of this. And everyone, has been very gracious, for the most part on there from that standpoint. There was a little feedback with the lights from that standpoint, but we are here, and we want everybody to be happy that we are here.
What a lot of and I lived in that area. I lived just around the corner, actually St. Clair and Ohio, or St. Clair South Street at one point in time. So it's stone's throw away, and that's at night. There's not a lot of street lights back then. It's a dark area. Mm-hmm. The backside of I call it Essex and everything, but it's to 2 bare feet or whatever. Mm-hmm. It's dark through there.
It is
not anymore. Businesses creeping off the highway. If they haven't caught on by now, that whole east side of a post or Ohio Street has been taken over by businesses, and it's probably going to continue. Good morning, Amy. I'm ready for a mushroom Swiss. We're working towards food, guys. I know my morning crew. We're hungry all the time. So it's something they're going to have to get used to. They've seen this coming the last 5 years with the interstate, and now. Businesses coming in, and it's gonna be that way. So I think it was awesome. I thought it was an awesome deal to turn them on at night. It's just like, hey, we're here. This is coming. So now let's talk about that young lady.
Absolutely.
You came to town. You set up right in the heart of the city, and then you took one of our favorite managers, general managers. From an established play. Well, she wasn't there.
I wasn't there at the time.
But
right.
But your history of, she has a good track record. Mm-hmm. I don't know if she's told you all this, but you picked a good one there.
Well, thank you.
So
well, it was one of those. When we came to town, you never know. Yeah. For sure, because again, our closest one is Bloomington, and then inside Indianapolis. But we always look. for local talent. We want local
You
people,
got to.
from that standpoint, just because they're there, they know the town, they're more invested, from that standpoint. So yes, I mean, actually 6 months ago is when I started, kind of snooping around and looking around. We were set at that point in time, but it was time to start looking for people. And I had gone through, a variety of people at that point in time in looking, and just, one day we just happened to meet up, and, kind of went through the process. And from that day forward, I will say, I'm very fortunate that I got to meet her, and am able to bring her aboard, because she has done a fantastic job for us to this point in time. And everybody, even that I have run into in the city from that standpoint, that know her, speak nothing but great things about her, and sing her high praise, and she has lived up to it to this point in time. So I really look forward to it. I think we're very fortunate to get her, and I think she'll do a lot of great things for us moving forward.
As I told you before we got on air, known her and her family a very long time.
Mm-hmm.
Residents from here, a small community, we're going to know each other. But my appreciation and respect for her is when we were doing when we do our fundraisers, I could text her at 10 p.m. or 6 a.m. Amber, I need some gift cards. You got any? Stop by the store later tonight. They'll be there. Stop by the store later tonight. They'll be there. Every single time. She didn't even ask what we're doing. I could be raising money for, hey, it's to help Kevin Coyle pay for his gas this month. She doesn't care. She's just already community first. And then about,
Always.
I don't know, I'm not going to say timeline wise, but I get this text, hey, might be involved in Culver's, you never know, or something like that. She's like, need to get in touch. We need to get you guys together. And I'm like, oh wow. So was excited for her, and happy, match made in heaven, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
And I miss, like I said, I miss seeing her at Chili's. Not gonna lie, but she, like everybody, we're gonna go find something more for us, and more something we like to do, and that's what she was trying to do. But we all walk that path, and you never know where your journey's going to take you. And now,
I didn't think I'd end up back in restaurants. I swore, because I worked for my brother Adam for the last 2 years at home. Spoiled myself by working at home, and we decided, Adam decided to go one way, and I, was kind of to take his business down a little bit. So I went and looking for a job, and I feel like I really hit the jackpot. The transition, I really thought the transition from working at home for 2 years to getting back into the restaurant business was going to be hard. Like, it just, you go from a slow pace to a very fast paced environment, and it was such an easy transition. After the first day, I was like, all right, this is it.
I mean, anybody that watched you work at Chili's, and I take Chili's as your measuring point, you had a great crew.
Yeah.
But a great crew is only a great crew if they have great management above them, and a great manager is only a great manager if they have a great crew below them. In any business.
Yeah.
And you mesh those individuals well. They mesh with you, and you put good product on the floor, and people came back because of you guys.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So that's your measuring point. It's in your blood. You know the folks of this community, and like any boss, you got to know how to treat people. And you may be able to walk up to me and slap me in the back of the head and say, "What are you doing, Goofy?" And that's me.
Right.
Another one. But I've seen you interact. I know that's how you go. You read people well. You read the room well, and that's important for a manager. And I think you guys have nailed it. Honestly, location, the timing of it, all together. It's going to be a good fit for the community, I believe, and it already has been. And like you said, Mike, you're going to help open the door, I think, for other things to come along. And people sometimes get that tunnel vision. They don't see the bigger picture. But I think you guys have, and you guys are, hey, one giant step for on to Martinsville,
Absolutely. Well, as we were talking,
saying that, but,
sure. Well, as we were talking before we started this morning, it's one of those that, with growth comes some changes.
Yes, sir.
I grew up in a small town, so I kind of understand that part of it. But when you want growth, that's going to call for some differences and some changes, and some outsiders coming in, and it's one of those, and that's where I think the mayor's office has done a good job, from that standpoint with us, from what I know. But we are a very community-based company. I will say, us in Culver. So it's something that we like to be involved in.
That's the first thing that she told me.
Absolutely. Well, it's not. We don't like a lot of places come in and say, "Yes, we're here. We want your money."
Right.
But we're not going to do a whole lot. We want your money.
Right.
And we don't. We want to get in and be involved. We got involved with the Martinsville Police Department a little bit with their clothing drive this winter. It was another one of the. We had very few concerns when we went through the process of getting approved for this, but one of them was that, that's a very busy intersection. So, what was that going to do? And the school's right down the street from that standpoint. It's kind of hard getting back and forth. And long story short, between the city, that is how the little side road that got built there to get in. And then also, we went ahead and agreed, and it was fine. We wanted to do it. We're in the process of building a sidewalk out in front of the store right now. Right. And that wasn't a requirement by any means, but we wanted to try and make it as safe as possible.
Sure.
And make it that, and we were more than willing to do that. It's one of those, and as time goes on, we'll get more involved in events here in town and with situations and scenarios in the schools and everything else because, we want to be a part of that. We are a very family-oriented type company, and we like to get involved in the communities.
Well, you're right in the heart. So, I mean, you're there. You're going to be. Let me catch up here. Good morning, Angie, Samantha, Allie, April, Stacy, Nick, Renee, and Deborah. April says, good morning. I can't wait for this new restaurant. Ann says, good morning. I'm so ready for Culver's from Deborah. Oh, I did not need to do that. So, you're getting a lot of love already, which is what we want. I know why they're waiting here. We're going to talk food now. All right,
absolutely.
This is what we do. Good morning, Renee. This is what we do.
Wake up
now,
hungry.
myself, I'm a custard guy, and I'm a butterburger guy. But it's so much more. He's going to tell you guys something that I did not know. And then when I hear the word pot roast, I'm in the line. I'm going through the door because we're meat and potatoes people. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah,
absolutely.
That's where we're from. This is meat and potato country. You can put me on keto for 6 months, and is that potatoes and roast beef? I'm there. So, can you tell us a little bit about your menu, either one or both? And then we're going to hit on certain topics because I'm liking them burgers.
Well, absolutely. One of the things, we were kind of laughing about it earlier. We consider ourselves fast casual.
Yeah.
Just from the standpoint of we don't have servers, but we have dining room attendants and food runners and people that help with that from that standpoint. But again, what separates us from some of the other concepts is that we serve dinner.
Right.
And a lot of people don't necessarily look at it that way. They think of us as burgers, fries, and custard. Well, we have, from a dinner concept, we will say we do serve pot roast. We have pot roast sandwiches and pot roast dinner. We have shrimp dinners. We have, fish dinners. We have a variety of things for people to come in and eat dinner with us at night. And we have about as large of a dinner crowd as we do, we'll call it a lunch crowd from that standpoint, as people figure that out. I think our pot roast and shrimp, I tell people all the time when I talk about it in the dining room, are two of our hidden gems. People just do not realize we have those until they try them.
It's baffling. I'm like, I'm going to be there, and we're going to do the pot roast and the shrimp. So, good morning, Amber is one of the best. Super excited for Culver's. Seating capacity.
Thanks, Ashley.
Of this facility, how many does it hold?
128 inside the dining room.
128 inside the dining room. Mm-hmm. And what are going to be the hours of operation?
We open at 10 a.m.
10 a.m.
10 p.m. Sunday through Thursday, 11 p.m. on Fridays and Saturdays.
Okay.
And then we do what we call summer hours, basically from Memorial Day to Labor Day. We go to 11 o'clock at night every day.
And late night burgers are the hard to get. They're the good stuff. So we've all been there. Your custards. Let's talk a little bit about some custard now. What's the number one seller of the custard? I just read it and I've not tried it, but it's something. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to go back to the menu. It's a favorite. People love it and excited. It's not ice cream. It's custard.
It's custard.
It's
absolutely.
Custard. And it's not going against the other. Well, Brain Chills is gone, but Dairy Queen and downtown, and there's other places. So this is the first custard shop
Yeah.
in the community.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us a little bit about it. Come on,
I mean,
Put
we
you on the
make
spot.
yeah, of course. So our custard, we make it fresh throughout the day, just like everything else. We make every order is fresh, which is awesome. You know, you're not, like Mike said earlier, you don't have stuff just sitting there. We're making it fresh. The custard, you know, we have a different flavor of the day every day. We post it. We let people know the day before. We even have these little calendars so that people can know what custard we're having for each day of the month. I think it's going to be huge hit, and like I said, with it being made fresh every day and just delicious. I didn't ever know the difference until I started working here between custard and ice cream, and there is a difference.
What is the difference?
It's creamier. There's help me out here.
It's basically one of those that ice cream is frozen. Basically, custard is not. There's a big temperature difference,
held at
and
a little bit of a
milk
higher
fat
temperature.
content, is different from it. So it's one of those that if you watch when you're in there, you will see us, at a minimum every 2 hours, we're making fresh custard.
Yep.
Wow.
From it, and you can literally watch it as it's coming out of the machines if you're standing there at the register. From that standpoint, coming out, and we serve chocolate and vanilla every day. From that standpoint, and then the flavor of the day does change. Day one will be our turtle, which is one of our most popular items.
That's the one. Yeah, that's the one. I was like, I wanted. It was beginning with a T, and I was like, it wasn't coming. So turtle is what I heard.
Yes,
yeah. I've not had it. I've not had the turtle flavor.
There's not been a single one that I have not liked.
Really?
And I've never been a big fruit ice cream person, but the chocolate covered strawberry, so good. So good.
Look, I'm still stuck on pot roast. All right? So we're already on dessert, and I'm like, anybody not finishing their pot roast, bring it to this table right here. That just it sounds delicious. So no breakfast hours, correct?
No.
Okay. That was.
We do open at 10 though, so I mean we're not serving breakfast, but we are open.
Can I get an egg on a burger? I'm just asking, just throwing it out.
No eggs. Bring your own, Kev.
Right, I can. It's gonna supply it. That's what's your number one selling burger?
The deluxe.
The deluxe.
From that standpoint, but that is one of the good things is obviously you can custom make your burger any way you want, standing right there at the register. And people get creative with them. By all means, mushroom and Swiss, as we saw earlier, pop up there is an extremely popular one.
That's a good sandwich.
Mm-hmm.
I've there's other places that make those, and that's like one of my favorite sandwiches to get. So I will be curious to sample the mushroom and Swiss from Culver's here in town.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite's the sourdough, and that sourdough bread toasted up. Oh, so good.
So
I had my own little toppings
you get
to it.
Toasted up.
Yes.
Oh yeah, they're toasted. It's all
Yes.
toasted.
Basically everything. The sourdough melts are big. Reubens, we serve Reuben sandwiches. People don't know that. That's another one. That again, if you get in there and kind of really look at and analyze the menu, and as you get to know our people, they will help bring some of these things to light for you from that standpoint. But yes, there are a variety of things that we serve.
Our salads, fantastic. Didn't even know Culver's had salads until I started working there, and they are fantastic.
Mushroom and Swiss, a couple of them and then the fish sandwich. What salads? Grilled chicken. What else we got?
We've got the cranberry bacon blue. We've got the garden fresco.
Wait a minute. Cranberry bacon. I mean, I'd bring a ring.
Blue
cheese, if you bring me that
and
every day.
grilled
I'm just
chicken.
you,
And they're nice and hearty. Like there's a lot of it there. Yeah. And we have good soups. Our soups are fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're making me starving
Sorry.
over here now.
The cranberry blue with the raspberry vinaigrette.
Oh man, yes.
Extremely popular. Very good one.
Raspberry vinaigrette and cranberry blue.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Wow. And when do we open? Can we fire them up today?
March 18th.
March 18th is going to, I was just throwing it out there being smart, but sarcastic, but is the date.
Yes.
The date we're going to open the doors.
Yes.
March 18th. No soft opening, nothing like that. We're firing them up and let's roll.
That day. Well, March 11th, people will start to see a lot of people in the store. That's our training week.
Okay.
So March 11th, everyone will start to come in. We will train that week. We have what we call our VIP day on Saturday, which is the day we let all the employees work for us bring all their family members in.
Oh, very cool.
To see where they work, meet the people they're working with from that standpoint. And they get to dine with us. We will have a first responders day where the police department, fire department, everybody gets to come in. They've been extremely gracious to work with from that standpoint. And then Monday morning, March 18th, It's one of those, the first 250 people in line will be able to get a free coupon for a free value basket for a year. From that standpoint, so
Kevin's
typically it's always a lot of fun.
I may not be able to make it, but I'm guaranteeing somebody from this group will probably be there.
Well, it's usually always a lot of fun to watch. As I said, we've done a number of these, and people will start to, depending on the weather.
Right.
We've had people camp out overnight. We've had people show up at 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning to get in line because they want to be a part of that, and both. They'll line up in the drive-thru and they'll line up outside the door.
So we got to write this down. We're going to the pen now. So what is the date? March 18th, and this is the first 250 in line.
Yes.
Get a
booklet that will be a free value basket per month all year long.
Holy cow. That's phenomenal. Good thing it's right around the corner. Yeah, Allie lives right there. I think she's going to pull her car up right there and park. So that's a heck of a giveaway for opening day.
Mm-hmm.
First 250?
Yes.
That line's going to be to the interstate.
Yes.
Or down Prather Drive anyway,
mm-hmm.
probably.
Mm-hmm.
Phenomenal. That's good. What's all in the gift basket? What's all in the basket? Is it just...
It's any value basket. Well, no, it's a value basket. So basically when they come in, they can order the Butterburger one, the fish one, any value basket we have, they can use that coupon for.
I see.
Yes.
It's a value basket. It's so they can come in and order whatever they want as far as a value.
Yep.
My goodness. Is a pot roast on there? I'm just
pot
asking.
Roast is on there. Absolutely.
Corey and Beth, if you're on, one of us has to be in line. I got to work that day. I know you guys too. We're going to have to draw straws. Someone's going in late that morning. So we're going to try. One of us will try to be there for sure because I think it would be fun to be there Sunday evening and see if somebody shows up.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And as the morning progresses, Monday morning, to see how the line is. The first I've heard of it. You guys, have you put it on your Facebook page yet, or are you waiting yet to do this?
I don't. We have not announced that yet. You are the yes. You
just for porch time
information here.
10 o'clock, Kristen. But that's my niece. She is a dispatcher from Morgan County.
Okay.
So she is one of the heroes of our area here. She's also very pregnant. So she's going to want some of that roast beef also. You're going to be sick with pot roast fever. I know, exactly. So, Kristen, you have to, it opens at 10, but the first 250 get the goods. That's what we're looking at. So Dalton might have to stand in line a little bit there for you. So I'm excited. I'm very excited to, it's a new business. It's a different business in town. It's another opportunity for Mark to expand and grow.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I like about it. I can remember old school, getting out of the military, coming home for good, and I hadn't been home for a little bit, and I pull up and we've got a Taco Bell.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, the greatest thing ever. Martinsville has freaking Taco Bell. I can drive, we lived up at Grassy Fork, so I could drive in town, go across the highway or down the highway and get Taco Bell in Martinsville. And I bet you I went there every day for a month. It was just we'd never had anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it kind of reminds me of that. Now we've got a Culver's. Are you kidding me? You're gonna be sick. Of course, I will be sick with pot roast. We're meat and potato people. That's why this isn't a beer gut. This is a food gut. So I'm excited. I think that it's good for the city. And you guys, she was giving me a little bit of history and about you and about the business. And you guys want to be involved in the community.
Absolutely.
And that's when I was like, oh, yeah, let's get him in.
Yeah.
And when she said, when do you do your morning shows? And I said, question is 250. Is that drive through inside or just out? Yes. How's that going to work out?
It is both.
Oh, wow. Morning, Bob. So you could be sitting in your car.
You could be sitting in your, because there'll be people lined up in the car. It'll be one of those that I will say, the first day, the first week, it will be extremely busy.
Right.
From that standpoint, we have already, the parking lot will be set up a little different with traffic cones and stuff so we can get people in and out in a very expeditious manner.
Right.
From that standpoint, we will have traffic control. Out front to help with that, because there will be times off and on where it probably bleeds out over into the street, but that's all part of the excitement, and that's what we have so much fun. We try and have as much fun with it as feasibly possible. from that standpoint. Because there are just things going on everywhere. We're having a ribbon cutting ceremony that morning, with people. And I think people will find I've run into a lot of people. We trained a lot of people down in Bloomington. The whole management team trained down there, and I've got some employees kind of early on training down there. So I've run into a lot of people that once they figured out who I was down there, there are a lot of Martinsville customers down there.
Right.
So they're like, oh, we're from Martinsville. We're really looking forward to it from
Excited.
that standpoint. So we have got to start to know people from that standpoint. And yes, it's going to be a great thing. It's one of those that a lot of people have been to Culver's. I've run into a lot of people that still do not really know. Well, I've heard of it, but I've never been. And we enjoy that. We enjoy the excitement part, and turning people into a Culver's customer, because we are a little bit different.
Culver's customer. And I hope this doesn't happen, but it will. It doesn't matter what pops up new anywhere in the world right now. You're going to get the first couple individuals that something doesn't go their way. Place stinks, got my food wrong. Folks, it's day one. There's going to be 6,000 people by noon in there, and they're going to do the best they can. They've got a great staff. They got great folks going to be working there. Cut them some slack. Don't get online if your burger didn't have mustard when you ask for it. You know what I mean? Give them some slack for a few days. There's another business right down the road that opened just a few months ago, and they killed it their opening day and had great. And you always had the couple who didn't get what I wanted. Come on, did you see the people that were in there? I mean, they were doing what they could. We all live and work here. Let's take it easy on people. That's the bad side of social media.
Yeah.
But like I tell people, we catch grief for things we do here, and I'm like, that's all right. Any PR in this business is good, and as long as you fix what the issue was and keep moving
Absolutely.
forward, it's still PR, and that's what you want.
Yeah.
So,
and in my experience with Culver's, they always try to make it right.
right.
If even in the chance that something does go wrong, it's always, we take care of our guests.
Yeah,
So,
I'm excited.
I think that's the key there, that I would like to say from that standpoint. We try very hard to do everything right. But yes, there is human error that comes out of the aspect of it. But tell us.
Yeah.
Talk to us. Let us know.
Yeah.
We will take care of it. We will make it right.
Right.
It gives us the opportunity to go, when someone does talk to us, it gives us the opportunity to go back and see,
Absolutely.
where we broke down from that standpoint and correct that, so that then hopefully it doesn't happen
That's
again.
what good businesses do.
From that standpoint. But we will always, go above and beyond as far as trying to make sure, people pay good money to eat with us,
Right.
From that standpoint. So we want to make sure, that we get you taken care of and that you get everything that you're supposed to have.
Kind of a technical question, and I meant to ask this earlier, backing up a little bit. Proximity-wise, what is your radius, and would there be another Culver's, Mooresville, or do they set boundaries like some do? You know what I mean? Because I already have Mooresville people saying, we're going to get one in Mooresville now, you watch. So
there are boundaries.
Mm-hmm.
But beyond that standpoint, as far as saying where we're going to go or what's going to happen from that standpoint, I'll say I can't say at this point in time, or I don't know at this point in time. Typically in Culver's, because we do go in cities,
right?
It's only a 3.5 or 4 mile boundary.
Oh,
limit to be able to build.
So you answered my question without answering my question there, and I like that. So, yes, they'll show some grace. We'll be out of town spring, but we'll be there. We get home. Thank you. That's awesome. Awesome. Got to go make cookies. Thank you, April. God bless you, and good luck with those cookies. I don't see any here, but I still like it. She donates all the time to her staff. So, well, I'm just going to tell you this. I'm honored to have you guys in here this early in the morning on a Saturday. This is normally when we come in, we mess around, we talk about the weather. It is snowing outside a little bit. It's nothing like we had 2 weeks ago where we're stuck in traffic. One more day of winter and we get back to spring is what it looks like. Mm-hmm. And that's normally what we have fun with in the mornings. But I was just happy to have you guys in here at any given time, and looking forward coming in and talking to you guys on air, maybe there at I won't if we do something on the day of opening, we're just going to be behind the scenes and just don't want to get in people's way. That's what we try to do on anything that opens up, because you guys are busy and you're wanting to put your best foot forward, and you know as well as me that's you better have plan B, C, D, and E.
Absolutely,
because that's just the nature of the beast. And like I said, the proximity, the location is just phenomenal in my opinion. Before we get off here, cannot wait. The sign. There's logic behind that, and people need to understand why you did what you did.
Well, I would assume we're talking about the billboard sign, or the high-rise sign.
The one that has a blinking airline thing at the top.
Yes, that sign is 90 foot tall.
That's awesome.
From that standpoint, and it is positioned, strategically to be able to see from both sides.
There's
of
a
the
canter
interstate.
tip for some reason.
Absolutely. So whether you're heading south or heading north, you can see it from that standpoint, and it is due to being as far off the highway as we are, but being able to have people know where we are, from that standpoint. So as you're kind of up on the top of the hill, if you're heading south, you can see it, and then when you're heading north, you get kind of past down that hill and past that first part of the wall, then you can see it that way. And it is just to let people know, that we are there. It's kind of an iconic sign from the standpoint of it's blue and white, and everybody knows if they see that, even if they can't read it, they know that's Culver's.
That is Culver's.
From that standpoint. But again, we want to, put ourselves out there. We have, a billboard. Billboards, we call them the blue board signs, coming off the interstate. We'll be on those from that standpoint. Because again, we want as many people to stop for our business, by all means, I will say from that standpoint, but here in Martinsville. Because as people do start to stop for us, well, then maybe they will stop at the gas station or the grocery store or stay in the hotel.
Hey, let's hit a custard. Let's get a custard while we're here. Let's get something.
Absolutely. Something different from that standpoint. So, yes, it is there. It was big. It was a lot of fun when we were there that day, because they look big there, but when you actually see them down on the ground, when they brought that sign in, it came in two pieces.
Oh yeah, I seen it. And I was like, "Holy smokes, where they go with that?"
It's a little over 15 foot tall when it's down on the ground.
Yeah.
So to kind of see the two guys that had the tethers on it that day standing next to it as they were lifting it up, it was quite the event to watch.
I think when they first dropped the one section off, the blue part of it wasn't there, and I'm like, why would they be doing culvert ditches drainage right now after they've already got it done? It's like, wait a minute, that's a signpost. Are you kidding me? And then the next day, the blue part was there or something later on. I was like, oh my gosh, they're going sky high on this one. So, but here's the thing, and I was driving around, I almost went live last night. Small town Martinsville, I can remember when we had a flashing light at Morgan and 252. We had every now and then the square lights would be on 3 of them. That was it. We had the light across from the bank on Main. That was it. Ohio Street and 37, 252 and 37. That's it. And I got home from work a little late last night, and you see the Justice Department. It's a 3 or 4 story building now. And then you see the Culver sign, and it just, we're growing.
Yeah.
And
sure.
people complained about the streets and then the highway and everything. But it's all systemic, and you can still keep the same small town feel, but we are expanding, whether you like it or not. I told him I've been to a couple meetings with stuff, and I said, you got to give them reasons to get off the interstate. If you want this, see the sign from Mars. That's good though.
Somebody
Deborah,
said
you're right. Oh, here go Ashley.
Somebody said that they thought it was the moon the other day when they were driving into town.
Well, yeah, I'm laughing because driving to work this morning, I was going west on 254. They even I saw a sign, and then once I was, yeah, that's you know what? That's why it's there.
Absolutely,
you got to give them a reason to get off the interstate.
Absolutely,
because you're 25 minutes. If you're coming from Indianapolis to Bloomington, you can be in Bloomington 10 minutes while you stop at Martinsville. You know what I mean? But boom, 2 minutes off the highway, there's a Culver's. 2 minutes off the highway, there's something else. And you got to give them a reason to come off the road. And hopefully this is just the start of reasons to get them off the road here in town. So,
right.
Guys,
well, I think one of the exciting things I will say from that standpoint is, because I know we're getting ready to wrap up here, but the management team for this store is all local, and from here in town, basically. Everyone has been extremely helpful from that standpoint locally. Martinsville has just opened armed us from that standpoint, and we appreciate that greatly. The people that there have been a couple of social media types out there. They're a little skeptical, I'll say, from that standpoint. Give us a chance. Give us the opportunity. I think that you will find that not only are we, a restaurant here in town, but somebody that is going to be a part of the town and help in town. And I think you will find that we'll be a great addition to town if you give us the chance.
Well, she knows, and any way we can help, you guys get involved with the community, and we'll come to you when we have events and fundraisers and such. We seem to tumble into 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 10 every year, so that's just the nature of it. We have no. People are like, "When's your next event?" I'm like, "We don't do it like that."
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean? If something happens that we feel we can help, we'll wave our card out there, but we don't. It's tough sometimes because you don't want to go to somebody in their time of need and say, "Hey, what can we do to help?" Normally it's a friend or a connection that says, "Hey, do you guys want to get involved?" And then we go from there.
Right.
So you never know. And other than we do a few things, we do the Shape for the Brave, cancer, children's cancer research. We do our golf outing coming up. A few things off and on throughout the year, but the other stuff is just whatever happens.
Well, I will say to add to that a little bit. From that standpoint, a lot of times people don't know we do an event that we call Share Nights. So it is basically a community-based donation. So we will do about anybody from that standpoint. So we've done Cub Scouts, we've done Little Leagues, we've done it for the band at school, choirs, etc. But what it is they make an arrangement to come to us and pick a night. We'll say a Tuesday night from 5 to 8. They come in, and it is a charity event. And from that standpoint, that dollar amount taken in, we will donate back to that
That's awesome.
charity.
Like the dime
a certain percentage back to. But what makes it a little different is we let those people participate. So they get to come in. One of the parts of it is they come in and they become the food runners and they become the dining room attendants and they get to participate in it.
Fun.
To enjoy that. And it's different, it's fun, but again, it's a way to get involved from that standpoint. So I mean, like I said, there are a variety of things, and we love doing those from that standpoint. And as they come in, if things go well, we are more than willing to do it a second time or even a third time, as it goes on. And it usually works out very, very well.
I'm wanting to get out there in the drive-through with going live and being on porch time also, and working with Culver's right there and having people come through the drive-through and saying, "Hey, I'm working with Culver's today." That'd be fun. I'm just
how cool.
Just brainstorm.
Sure. And we'd love to have you out there.
Anyway, folks, anything else you want to address or talk about? I think we hit on it quite a bit, but
we're just excited.
Yeah.
We've been working hard this week getting the building ready, and
it looks beautiful.
Unboxed everything, and it's all shiny and pretty in there.
Yeah. I do like the side street. That was the first thing I looked for, because, excuse me, when they first started digging around there, I was like, where's the access point going to be? It's not going to dump out onto Prather Drive only. That's going to be a pain in the butt. And because they hadn't set that place up yet. And then I was like, they got to tie into that 4-way right there, some 3-way right there somehow. And sure enough, boom. Well, people way smarter than me, way further up the food chain than me, was running that. They knew what they were doing, but I was...
Well, and it was one of those when we first, the designs first came out and things were first set up, we were going to go out on Prather and directly on Ohio.
Yeah.
We'll say just directly across from, Wendy's there. And, after looking at it, both sides talking, it was a bit of a concern. It was going, especially with us, it was going to become a problem, from the standpoint of heavy traffic. So then, again, that's where I will say, the city was very open to and said, well, hey, what do you guys think about this?
Right.
And we were more than willing to do that, from that standpoint. So, a little adjustment, a little correction.
Well, I'm going to share a story with that proximity right there. I used to live at St. Clair and South Street, a couple houses down. Went to Poston Road. There was 2 routes to go. You could either go all the way up and then down Ohio, or Prather Drive, come in the backside. And we used to walk right there in front of your area every day. And the greatest store ever, in my opinion, was Busy Bee Market.
Oh, yeah,
it was
Busy
right
Bee.
there on the corner,
Yeah.
catty corner to you.
Okay.
It's empty now. It's on the northwest corner of that. It's going to be a 4-way now. But we would hit that either in the morning or the afternoon, get candy every time. But if you remember when there was nothing on that south side of the Poston Road, Charlie Flake's house sat about where the parking lot is for the car wash and all that, other side of Wendy's.
Mhm.
But that was it. And it was a big old spooky house, but that was it. So you walk through as a kid, you're like, but you'd round that corner and you're like, we're getting a Poston now. So, but that was, it's been a minute ago. But that used to be our route every day. And now to think, I'd be walking right past Culver's. You're not open yet at that early in the mornings as a kid, every single day. But coming home, guess what?
Getting some
hitting
butter
Culver.
burgers.
Yeah.
Or a pot roast sandwich.
Yeah, I'd get something for certainly. But yeah, very, very good location.
Yeah.
I think this side street helps a ton. We're lazy. We are lazy people. We want in and out. You know what I mean? We don't want I got to sit and wait for 30 seconds for cars to come by.
Yeah.
We're lazy and we're impatient. That's what we do. So that traffic flow will help. So
Absolutely.
guys, I appreciate you coming in. I know it was early.
Well, thank you very much for having us.
Honored to have you guys in here.
By all means, it's been great to be on here, and again, just another part of the Martinsville, welcome and warmth by all means, that I see. So I'm very appreciative of that, and want to say thank you very much for it.
One thing I've learned in this, what we do here, and it was kind of shocking. The people of this community are very giving, and when in time of need, I've never seen a group of people rally around each other, put away their differences, and come to the aid of folks. And that's one blessing about Martinsville and Morgan County as a whole. So I think you guys will fit right in. And
and props to you, Kevin, because you guys kill it here. You really helped a lot of families and a lot of lives.
Have a few very excellent people that work with me, because this right here doesn't do much, but this right here, that's all I'm good at. So
I thought this was the whole thing.
That's
what brought the people in.
When the morning show, the normal Monday through Friday, I'm like, this is the money maker, and they're like, no, it's not. Anyway, guys, thank you so much.
Yeah,
Mike, it's very nice to meet you, sir.
Same.
And you're going to get sick of seeing me. This one will tell you the same thing. She already is sick of seeing me. So.
Never.
She shoots ideas to me weekly, every now and then.
There you go.
So that's just the way it is. So anyway.
It only takes one.
Yeah, exactly, 100%.
This doesn't ever shut off, so I've got a million things going on.
I know. It's at 1 a.m. I'm going to be at work at 6. I'm like, what am I thinking about? What can we do to put shirts on dogs with it's just the way it is. So, all right, guys, thank you so much. Hey, thank you guys for tuning in. Like and share this. Get it out. Stop in March 18th. 251st people. Got to get in line. It's going to be fantastic. So, guys, thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thank you.
And we will see you guys. I'll be back on tomorrow evening sometime. Love you guys. Have a great Saturday. It's winter again. Summer starts back up on Monday.